Yo, what's going
So
on? Are you in a Airbnb or a hotel?
no, I'm in a hotel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Is it a decent one?
actually, yeah, it's pretty nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. You're just back from Texas and you're already someplace else?
yeah, yep, yeah, yeah. I got back in Texas last Monday, and then was home for a little bit, and I still had to drive around a bunch and stuff for meetings and everything. And then um, I had one of my best friend's weddings yesterday,
Nice. I
so
saw you guys dressed up.
yeah, so I was one of the groomsmen for that, and was in that wedding, and then had to wake up today and pack and get down here, and now I'm in New York City. I'm literally 3 minutes from LaGuardia Airport, and because my boss flew in, he comes up and travels with me like once a year, so we hit different parts of my territory every time he comes up. So this time we're doing New York City tomorrow, and then gonna be in Jersey tomorrow night.
Nice.
In Jersey for a couple more days, and then I'll head back home either late Wednesday or depending on if we get done kind of late, I'll just stay here again. I'll just come back Thursday morning.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
How was the Gasp event?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, MJ, who's the owner of Gasp and stuff, and Better Bodies and Destination Dallas. Those events are awesome. There's like no other company that does stuff like that.
What's happening, Doug?
Yeah, it was great. It kind of sucked because
What's up, fellas?
a few of the events that we had set up had to be canceled because of like the rain. It was raining a lot when we were there. Like there's this one place we were going to go called Eagles Canyon. It's like a raceway, and all types of high fast shit. And that had to get canceled just because it ends up being dangerous when the track's wet. But it was good. I got to shoot an arm video for Gasp with the videographers and stuff, and great time seeing everybody. So it was good. Yeah.
That's what's up. What's happening, Doug?
What's going on, fellas?
Looking lean in that face there,
Yeah.
bud. It's coming.
It's around that time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hungry as fuck all day, every day.
Yep.
Bruh, how you guys doing?
Good.
I'm good. Do you find that the hungriest days are your weekend days or your weekend days activity packed?
Yeah, especially because too, like, I got 2 kids, so yesterday running my son around trying to get him find his prom suit and all that stuff. And when you're hungry, you can't just go grab shit to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have your food with you, and even when you got your food with you, you gotta fucking wait until it's time to fucking eat. You know what I'm saying? So running around with my son, I'm in the mall, I'm smelling all kind of good. I'm seeing all the food that I can't eat, and it's like it be calling my name. You know what I'm saying? Like I love fucking sweets and cookies and shit. You know what I mean? And I'm used to it now, but it's still a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I tell people all the time, like, you gotta mentally be all in on a prep, man, because you can't have fuck it moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be like fuck it and then just go eat some shit. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's all good.
Doug, does your sense of smell get enhanced when you're dieting? Because mine does big time.
That in my dreams. Like sometimes I wake up, I ate a donut in my sleep, and I thought I ate a fucking donut when I wake up. I'm mad as fuck at myself. Like, did you fucking eat that? And then I'm like, I was in my dream. I know I ain't eat no fucking donut.
No lie, last night I had a dream I shit in my pants and I woke up to piss and I had to check if I actually shit.
Listen, dreams are real. Like, do you ever have the dream where you're falling and you swear you're about to die, and then you wake up like, oh shit, like what the fuck?
I'll do you one better, Doug. I have had multiple dreams over the years where I am dead in my dream. Like I had this one dream where I died, and like I don't even know how I died. I was just dead, and I was a spirit in my dream, like floating around. And my sister was in my dream and she was in trouble. So I basically willed myself back to life. And it was weird. And then I had this one dream where I was like fighting zombies. And I was like up in a cabin, like in the woods, and I like dove through one of those like windows and I was hiding behind a rock. And this one sucked. I got clocked in the back of the head with like the butt of a rifle. And I turned around and I was like, dude, I'm not a zombie. And a guy just shot me right in the face. And I just like,
it's amazing how much stuff can go on in a dream. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. But most of the time I'll have dreams where I'm just like doing regular jobs that people do and I just suck at them. Like one reoccurring one that I have, I'm not joking. Like one reoccurring one that I have is I'm a waiter. I've never been a waiter before, but I constantly forget orders. I'll drop food all over the place and I usually get fired. That's like how that dream goes. Like, you're just not working out here, Chris. You got to go hit the road, Jack.
Oh man, that's funny.
Anything Morty's filming, so he's not gonna be free, but I'm gonna get him one of these motherfucking weeks.
Yo, that's good.
Yeah, I hit him up.
That's hilarious, Chris, that like out of anything your brain can think up, it thinks that you're like, all right, tonight you're gonna be a waiter, but you're gonna be bad at it. And that's the dream.
That's one thing I couldn't do. I have a lot of respect for waiters, man.
I do too. Yeah.
A lot of respect. I tip. I do my best to tip good because I know that job is not easy. I have patience, but one thing, if anybody snaps at me, I will fucking go crazy. Like that.
Imagine being like 2 weeks out and you being a waiter or waitress and you just
I'll lose my job.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Pat?
He just laughed.
All three fucking died as soon as I logged on.
Oh, I know.
Bro.
It went from having a conversation to laughing.
I saw the box down in the corner to let you in. I'm like, who the fuck did I send an email to? Like, who the fuck is Pat? Oh.
Shit.
Right, let's see. What's going on, Brendan? How's everything going?
Oh, fucking! It's just been stressful. I had to so the 3 month trial I kind of did with Blue. The last 4 to 5, I'll be honest, the last 4 to 5 weeks, completely my cortisol, my stress levels has just been through the roof with everything that's been going on outside of bodybuilding world, and I'm it ain't fucking my weight was stagnant for 4 weeks, and I'm gears in. Shit that I've never insulin stuff that I've never even done before is in. Food was consistent. I was on point with all that shit. I'm on point with everything. You know how I am. And the shit was just the scale's not moving, and I'm retaining water, and I'm just it's not worth it right now. With everything that I got going on until everything's handled from a stress point of view, and the divorce is final and everything like that. It's not worth me trashing my body or anything like that. And being on gear and not making progress, it just, to me, it doesn't make sense. That will always never make sense to me. If you're not progressing, there's no point in being on all the enhancements that you're on if you're not going to progress from it. Look who's back.
What up, gents?
What's up, brother Sean?
How's everybody doing?
Good. Yeah. You know what's interesting, Brad? You talking about that, man. I get a lot of good feedback from this podcast because people love how we're just very honest about a lot of things, man. And, people see us and we make bodybuilding look easy to the other people, So to hear you say stuff like that, it gives good people insight about just how difficult it is off season or prep.
Oh, it's not, dude, it's probably one of the hardest decisions you have to make too. You know what I mean? I know where I'm at wise, you know what I mean? Progression wise, and it's stuck. It was good until things started, the stressors in my life started to affect
your personal life.
This is just this is pointless to me. Right now, there's no point. I did not enjoy and I was at the point where Mike was a couple of years, a year and a half, 2 years ago, where you're just this isn't even fun anymore. I feel like I'm going to the gym and it's a job and I have a task and I'm not enjoying it. And I'm like, nope, fuck that. I'm done with that. I'm going to pull myself back, put myself on a slow like TRT cruise and just call it a day until all that shit is handled.
Yeah.
And then I can reevaluate what I want to do.
Yeah. Be focused.
Get back on and pursue it or just keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like the stage is never going to go anywhere. I always I'll believe it or not. Like I pulled myself off a week. I went in today and probably had one of the best lifts I've had in 2 months because there was no pressure. I was just going with the flow, doing what I wanted to do. It wasn't a task at hand, and I just went balls out, and it worked. So
yeah, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be a hobby, and it's so true when you say that, man. Because when I left my job, that was that balance for me that I had to find is because when I had a 9 to 5. My escape was bodybuilding. And then when I left my 9 to 5, bodybuilding became my job. And I struggled with that for a little while. Like, I need to have fun with this. So, my coach was real big in helping me just find other ways to get your mind off of bodybuilding so everything isn't over consuming your life bodybuilding wise. You know what I mean? And, for a lot of people, man, that's difficult, man, because bodybuilding is 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And, like I said, we make it look so easy. Mike, you shared your pictures and your story from when you was 260 to 280. And you can see that 20-pound difference is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But people don't know what goes into that. Like within that time period, everything wasn't perfect. You have your good days, your bad days. You know what I'm saying? And, I love that we are honest about these kind of things, man, because it's supposed to be fun. And I always say this, when prep and competing's not fun to me anymore, I ain't doing this shit because this shit is hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not having fun with it, I ain't doing it.
Prep or not like prep or just like an off season, like your mentality in your head has to be in it, because if it's not, there's no point in doing it and no point in disrupting your health on top of that in order to do it. You know what I mean? Like I have no problem disrupting my health. Like we all know that like you jeopardize your health by doing this shit. We're all well aware of that. But if you're jeopardizing your health and you're not making progression on top of it, there's zero point to doing it. You have to mediate and work around things and find out what the problem is so that then you can progress. So to me, like I said, it's not smart for me to be able to like do everything that I'm doing with all the outside noise that's going on, where my focus and my head is on that shit rather than in the gym. So, I mean, like just turning it around and, it'll turn around in a couple of months. Like once I move past all this shit and once everything is, tucked away and gone away, like.
Yeah, because I can only imagine going through a divorce, man. Just a little bit of transparency. I remember when I thought me and my wife were going to get a divorce in 2020. I don't know. To be honest with you, bodybuilding is what held me together. Like, because it was the only thing that I had positive going on in my life. Like, literally, I got a therapist because I couldn't understand how one aspect of my life is great. But my home life was shit. You know what I'm saying? And thank God things worked out. But I can only imagine how stressful that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the two things that I got to be honest with you, like the two things that have kept my brain and like have kept me going over the last like 6 months since she had left is my therapist and my daughter. My daughter my relationship with my daughter has become so much closer in the last 6 months than it has ever been. So I'm blessed. Like that's a blessing in disguise. And like having somebody to talk to therapy wise that I've talked to for the last like year and a half, 2 years. And she knew the problems that were even happening before they even they occurred. So, I mean, like she's a great therapist and I'm fucking thankful because your mental state in this sport, especially, holy shit. If you don't have a therapist and you got stuff going on in your brain, you got to deal with it. I highly recommend that anyone who doesn't have a therapist and there's something going on up in that brain and you need to voice what's going on because you feel like you got demons in there.
Yeah.
Believe me.
And I recommend it even if life is good.
Hire a therapist.
Yeah, because most of us, like me, I got a therapist because life was bad. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on? But what I found through having therapy is you need a therapist in the good times, the bad times, and the in-between times. That's a professional person you can communicate with and talk to, and your business ain't all in the streets. It ain't all in social media.
The best part is there's no judge. The person that you're talking to, they're judgment free on you.
Yep.
So that's the best part. I mean, that's my opinion. That's what's good. That's what's been going on with me the last like 5 to 6 weeks. So
that's cool. That's good. I'm
Sean, what have you been up to, man?
Dude, I'm catching up with you guys, but battling this freaking bug. 2 weeks in a row, I got sick and everything's all derailed. But now I'm back in the saddle here.
Yeah, it's that time of year, man. Something's been going around. My coach was sick. I was feeling a little bit sick a few weeks ago. Yeah, something's definitely been going around.
Yeah. But no, it feels good to be back now. Again, social media cleanse. I tell everybody you got to go on a social media cleanse as well, man.
It is.
I do that regularly.
I've thought about that. I've never really done it. Like I limit my social media throughout the day, but I've never really taken like a week or two to just like.
Yo, you know what's cool about it, Mike? When people, you know how you run into people and they be like, "Yo, did you see this on Facebook? Did you see?" And you'll be like, "Nope, I ain't see it. I don't know what." That is a good feeling. I swear to God, it is.
I'll be honest. I think like more so when I get deeper into a prep is when I am less involved in social media.
100%. Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't give a shit because like we all know, like you start to see people that potentially are doing the show, you get in your own head. So like, yeah, in the beginning when I first started bodybuilding, I was obsessed with it. Like I'd just be like, look at this guy, look at that. And then like all of a sudden I'm like, F this. There's no point. Like
for sure.
Chucky, man, your face is looking thin, brother.
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying. Hey man, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing hard. Now I'm pushing to get down around 220. I should be there within the next week or so. You know, this prep, man, you know it's cool not having to worry about hitting that fucking 212 weight cap.
Amen,
you know
brother.
What I'm saying? Like I feel like there's just like the past years, there's just always that pressure of making weight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have that this time. So
you'll have to make weight for the Masters Olympia, though, right?
Yeah, and that's in August. So, and to be honest with you, I'm most likely gonna do the New York 212 right after. So the plan is to get on stage at about 218. So then it's only a 6-pound drop for the New York.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be at New York.
That's what's up.
So, Dougie, you do Masters, and then you finally gonna throw 212 behind you and go open, or what?
I plan on doing the open after this year. I plan on this being my last year competing in the 212. I want to let my body grow. You know, I like training hard and just letting my body grow. And you know, that's why I say like this is the first time. This is the first time in 5 years that I don't have that mental stress of trying to make a weight, and I like that.
I'll tell you, man, I think you're going to blow the fuck up.
Stress is terrible. When I did nationals last year, like, you know, coach had in my head, like, oh, we're going to be a light heavy. And I'm like, fuck. I hadn't been under 200 pounds since 2013. So
dude, when I heard that, I'm like, oh, Chris is going to be fucking miserable for like a couple of weeks.
Because that shit is hard, man. When you got dense muscle.
It's not easy.
That shit is fucking hard. You know, my last year when I turned pro, I told myself and my coach, if I didn't turn pro, I wasn't doing light heavy again. Because to try to get to 198 was like hell, bro. It was hell.
Yeah, it sucked. Never again. That was my last time.
So I had a couple cool topics today. One, I specifically waited till Chris was back.
Yes.
We'll start with that one. Our most memorable lifts that we've had in the gym.
Do you want me to kick this off?
Sure, yeah, anybody.
I've actually had quite a few over the years, just doing some dumb, stupid shit, you know. And a lot of these lifts that I had came in like 2019, and I remember there was one day I hit 495 for 5 on bench. I was only like 235 pounds at the time. I hit a seated 405 military press for 3, and that was actually like touching the bar to the top. I hit 65 on a military press for 10, and then there was another time where I hit 315 for 20 on a military press. I've done upright rows with 315 before. I can't imagine how sloppy those look probably. And then I definitely, that 800-pound squat was probably up there, one of my favorites.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I've had a lot of really good lifts over the years, and there's just those days where you go into the gym and you like look at a weight and you're like, I'm going to lift this, and everything just feels pretty light. And you just feel like unstoppable in the gym. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my memories just went right out the fucking window.
Yeah, you win. Next question.
Fucking what the fuck, man?
I got retard strength. What do you want?
Yeah. He's like over here, I'm thinking, first time I ever put fucking 405 on my back. That was fucking great to squat. And I'm like, this motherfucker's stuck. Like, I see Mike's face over there when he's like, yeah, 495 bench. I'm like,
yeah, that's insane. Most I've ever done is 425. I was an amateur at the time, but for me, my most memorable lifts were shit that I thought was impossible. I remember with my coach one time on a leg day, we worked up to 495, and he said, you're going to do this for 10. And first I'm like, what? I'm like, there's no fucking way. So I did it, and then he took it down to 405, and he said, I need 20. And then I really lost my marbles. Like, there's no fucking way I can do that. And then I did it, and I couldn't fucking believe it. You know what I mean? But for me, that was definitely the most, and that was when I knew my coach was the best person for me, because he was able to just pull shit out of me that I would have never in my life tried any shit like that. Like to do 405 for 10 would have been a goal on a squat. You know what I'm saying? So to do it for 20 reps after doing 495, that was my most memorable lift. And I was an amateur at the time. So
did you get almost like a euphoric high feeling afterwards?
Hell, you couldn't tell me shit after that.
Dude,
You couldn't tell me.
That is awesome. That feeling you get is just, there's nothing like it. It's like the weightlifter's experience equivalent to a runner's high.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, Chris, because I was gonna go two ways with this, like most memorable lifts, weight wise, and then just ones that stuck in your memory. I have one that stuck in my memory when I was just getting into it. It was a hack squat set with my boy Keith. And we, at the time, we didn't really follow any training. It was go till failure, rest pause, and then go till failure again with spotter help. And I don't remember how much was on the hack squat, but I remember hitting failure for the second time and then just getting like 6 more reps. But something like clicked and it changed, and they just felt like the easiest reps. And I remember like it was this full high, and when the set ended, I remember like I racked the weight and I fell to the floor and I just started crying. Like it was this crazy wave of like this highest high, and I didn't know how to react to like how good it felt. Besides
an
just
emotional roller coaster.
It was crazy. And I've been chasing that feeling in a lift ever since, and I haven't quite ever felt it again.
They say that's how crackheads become crackheads, because that first high is so high, they're chasing that first high and they never get it again.
I had another one when I was still natural and I was doing a little bit of powerlifting type stuff. I remember it was the first time I ever did 405 on a bench press, and I was 195 pounds, and it was like a week prior I had just squatted 700 for the first time. At 195 pounds,
fucking killing me.
I was still natural, and then I'm like, okay,
you're natural,
and yeah. So I ended up the first time I had 405 on the bar, I actually benched it for 3 reps, and when I racked that, and it was at the first gym I ever trained at, was in front of all the guys that have just seen me working hard over the years, and I had the same thing. I literally had tears coming down my eyes, and like in my mind, I was like, I made it, I've done it. There's a feeling like that just, those are good to have.
Mm-hmm. Brent, I mean, I got 2 others I can think of. The first time I pulled 700.
The first time for me was as much as him fucking Chris just shitting on like weight wise here. Like the first time I ever like did 405 and I did it for 12 clean and like depth and everything like that. That's one that definitely sticks out in my mind. Like I was
about to say, you're tall, so us short dudes kind of got the advantage on you. Like You doing 405 for 12. Any tall person that squats in the bucket, that's impressive. It's more impressive to me than somebody my height. You know what I'm saying? I'll always stand by that. I train this DJ 6'6". He got legs and he can get in the bucket. And I'm like, you're unreal to me. Because that's not fucking easy.
So much, you're going so far down, it's not even funny.
But
I would say like the most memorable moment that I've had was probably when I went down to Florida and trained with Nate a couple of years ago when he first moved down there, and we were doing the hack squat. And it was pretty much almost fucking straight up. Like, who's been to MI40 out of all you guys?
I've been there.
Okay, so what is it? The hydraulic fucking hack squat?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that thing is awesome.
That thing is the fucking best thing ever created. So we literally have it like almost pretty much fucking straight up and down. Like,
so it's like that Dorian Yates hack squat that was
damn near fucking close.
Yeah.
And I think he had loaded like 6 plates on each side, and I'm just like, fuck my life. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I'm saying in my brain, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And you get so fucking hyped up and adrenaline and everything like that when like you lift with your boys or you lift with somebody who's superior to you. And I just got underneath it. I was like 8-9 reps into it, and I was just like ready to rack it. And he's like, don't be a fucking pussy, keep going. And I'm just like, I just like blacked out and ended up doing like 5 more reps, but got off and literally like my CNS was completely fucking fried and I fell on the floor. It was just like,
oh yeah.
It was one of those like you're never gonna forget moments. You know what I mean? Like the push, I mean, like the atmosphere, everything like that it was top notch.
That's what's up.
What about you, Sean?
Dude, I can't even touch compared to Chris here. I'm like all half his numbers. Like for me, like 335 on a squat was like my highest for a couple, and then 315 on a bench. I mean, I'm not a strong guy by any means, you know. So
yeah, but that's still impressive for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
You know, it is. I mean, that's a lot of, like, when you think about it, it's a lot of weight that you're just lifting, you know?
Yeah.
You got to remember, like
I don't think we should compare anything to Chris.
Yeah, like I just coached my client in her powerlifting meet yesterday. She's 5'1", 139 pounds. She pulled 363 and she's 45.
Damn.
I saw that shit. Yeah.
And in her mind, she thinks like she can do better. And I'm like, you can, but I'm like, the average 40-year-old woman probably can't deadlift 130 fucking pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like 300 pounds is fucking heavy. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. That shit's fucking heavy. You know what I mean? So I feel you, Sean, but big ups to you and big props to you, man, because just being able to fucking lift 300 pounds and anything is fucking not easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, if any of you guys told me to go run a mile right now, I'd be like,
I would fucking pay to see that.
I'll sprint. I can still sprint, and I'm still fairly quick sprinting. But
if you see me running, y'all need to be running too, because I'm running from something. Ain't no fucking way out.
Did you guys ever bring up? I'm trying to catch up with the podcast. The assault on Dougie at the barbershop. That was so uncool, dude.
Oh, the video, yeah, with your boy.
The assault on you at the barbershop or wherever you were.
Dude that knocked the food out of your hand.
What's his name? Old boy coming in there and nicking your food out of your hand and everything else.
NDO champ, yeah.
Champ. Oh yeah, shout out to NDO champ. Yeah. That thing's still going viral in the algorithm.
Dougie was there, but he had that whole fucking gym in Ohio, like jacked the fuck up for doing bench press.
Yeah, NDO
He's
champ.
on like a microphone. He's like, "Who's doing the bench press? Who's doing the bench press? Let's fucking go!"
Yeah, NDO champ, man. That's my guy, man. He's got a cool story too, man. He's from Liberia. That's where he was born.
Oh, the shit.
He moved here in the United States when he was 16, and he told us his whole life story, man. It was very, very humbling, man. It kind of like puts things in perspective. When people complain to him about their issues and their problems, and he can think about when he was a kid and he had to use the bathroom. He had to go out back and dig a hole to use a bathroom. He had to walk miles to go get water and things like that, man. And it's not to say that, like, you know, certain people's circumstances aren't bad, but you know, after listening to his story, man, it was just like, I can't complain about shit.
No.
Yeah, people think they got it bad, but trust me, there's always people out there that have it 10 times worse. That's the way I look at life.
Facts.
For sure.
What's the other questions we got, Mike?
So another one that I had was this one's kind of deeper, I guess, but I think it's a good question. Is what makes bodybuilding so addicting to you?
For me, it's the results.
Results?
Like my first goal, I wanted to look like I belong, and I wanted abs. I never had abs in my entire life. So when I got those, couldn't tell me shit. And that's funny because at that time you couldn't tell me shit, but now I look back at them pictures like, why did y'all let me get on stage like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, man? You know, but yeah, for me, it's the results, and then the fact that I can continue to get older and look better. I'm addicted to that.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's legit as hell. I think for me, it's a combination. Like, obviously, we all love training. Like, I'm always gonna train till the day I die. I'm gonna train, but I'm so excited for the amateur shows this year to like go to my first amateur show to watch. I really think I like the aspect of not the fitness industry, but the bodybuilding community. Like, I love going to shows and like Down to Cutler and seeing Brendan and seeing like just this, like, everybody gets to be around each other again, and everybody has these similar mindsets, and it's just like we get to be who we are again, and people have a mutual respect for it in this small little area. And like, I don't know, as like a kind of weird dude, because I'm kind of weird with what I like, it feels like a place to belong, and I think that's like a huge piece of bodybuilding for me.
That's exactly what it was like when I was in Texas at the Gasp event. What you just said, it was like that just for days. And we all just hung out, ate food, trained, and it's like the same thing. And, you know, for me, I've wanted to be a bodybuilder since I was 8 years old. So this is like, you know, living my childhood dream in a way. Even though I'm not pro, you know, I still carry myself like one. I make money in the industry, and I'm pretty well off and successful in my own right in that regard. And the other part is too, it's like I'm always chasing this look and this perfection. And I know I'm never going to get there because it's impossible, but it's that whole journey of always trying to attain that and just hitting a new level, hitting a new limit that you're blowing past. And it's just that daily challenge of like, how much better can I get? You know, refining your craft, you know, as a bodybuilder. And that's what I love about it. And I just love the fact because I've been doing this for, you know, I've been lifting and stuff like that, you know, for 23 years, competing for 15 or something like that. And I still love it when I first started, like how I do now. And to me, that's just you can't attain this look with money. Like, you can't just be like, all right, make me 300 pounds or whatever. Oh, make me bench this much or whatever. And it's everything that I'm walking around. It's like a billboard of my hard work and discipline from years and years and years. And I just I love that.
Yeah, can I add to that real quick? Because I heard this guy say this. I can't remember who it was, but this is so true. And I hate why we make it look so easy, but everybody doesn't realize that, like you said, money can't get this. And that's so true. Because you got a lot of people out here who say goofy shit like, oh, if I ran a cycle, I could look like you. And what people don't realize is it doesn't matter how much money you have. If it was really as easy as putting a needle in your butt and eating and training, everybody would be as big as Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates. But that's just not the fucking case. You still got to put in the fucking work. You still have to build the muscle. You have to train. You have to progress in every fucking aspect, you know, and we make this shit look easy to other people. So people are envious, and it's like, oh, I could do that. And it's like, man, you could try to do it if you want to, but it ain't that fucking easy.
No, it's not.
And then even when you're putting in the effort, you know, like we all work hard, but then we're like, you look at like, you know, Martin Fitzwater or Keon or like those guys put in the same type of effort. You know, I'm not saying like I'm on par with them, but I'm saying we're all putting in a high degree of effort to get to this look. And even then, it's just like you're going to have those freaks that are just going right past you. You know?
And it's like that in every sport. I mean, you look at the NBA, you look at the NFL, you look at the NHL. Let me tell you, I went to a hockey game. Some of these fucking hockey players are big as fuck. They move graceful as shit, speed. They can stop, cut on a dime. And it's like some people are just fucking freaky, and it just is what it is.
That is it. That's exactly what it is. I mean, I'm 5'6". Like maybe I wanted to be 6'8" and I could dunk a basketball. Maybe I want an 11-inch cock, but hey, I'm 5'6" and I got retard strength. Like, hey, you know what? You just kind of go with the flow, bro.
Guys, I got a question, and hopefully I won't offend anybody here or anybody watching. Okay, and I've heard this: is bodybuilding really a sport or is it a pageant?
I've heard people say that. I mean, I think it's all personal opinion and perception. I mean, you've heard me say it before. It's a male beauty pageant, but what makes it a sport, in my opinion, is the work is done before show day. Show day is just when you're displaying all of the hard work. But what makes it a sport is not everybody can do this and dial in for X amount of weeks. You know, the preparation, in my opinion, is what makes it a sport. Show day, it's a pageant. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We put oil on, we wear posing trunks, and we're posing for random strangers and judges. But with what goes into that, in my opinion, is what makes it a sport, because not everybody can eat the same thing Sunday through Sunday. Come into the gym week in and week out, pushing to get an extra rep, pushing to get an extra 2 reps. You know, it's easy to come and train with you one time, but can you come tomorrow when you're sore as fuck? You know what I'm saying? And can you outdo yourself yesterday? That is, to me, what makes it a sport.
See, I look at it this way. Like you said, when you're on stage, it's a subjective sport. You know, beauty pageant, modeling, whatever you want to say it. But when you're like, if you're playing football, right, and you're in the gym lifting, you have a purpose for lifting. So you're training for explosive power, speed, you know, agility. You're doing mobility work so you don't get injured on the goddamn field, right? And the training for that is when you're playing your game, you know, like your game on Sunday for football, whatever. And with bodybuilding, it's like you're lifting for a specific purpose. Instead of being super strong or fast, you're maybe lifting to increase your cardio, your endurance, and you're lifting with purpose to build muscle. So the training go in there, like, yeah, it's not a contact sport, you know, not like football. You're not going head to head with somebody else. But the training and practice that is very similar in a way to other sports.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's a 24-hour job.
And that's the difference. Yeah,
that's a big part of it. Like, that's what you can't call bodybuilding a pageant when you're doing this fucking shit 24 hours a day.
Yeah. I like Doug's definition. I always called it pageant as well, at least the competition part. But that aspect of what you're doing in the gym and that preparation, that's sport for sure. So, yeah, no, I like that definition.
And, you know, another thing, too, is like, you know, competitive cheerleading is considered a sport. Then you have the fitness girls that are doing ridiculous floor routines. And, like, that's sort of in the same boat there.
Yeah.
Sure. I would definitely consider that a sport.
Yeah, everything we do, you have to practice, because we also tell people this. You can come in with the best package, but if you can't pose, you understand? You're shit out of luck. You know what I'm saying? So you also have to practice your posing. And it's always funny when I get somebody as a new client and I pose them hard and they're like, "Oh my God, this is harder than I thought." And I'm like, "Yeah, your posing conditioning sucks. That's a thing." Mm-hmm. You have to have posing conditioning on stage. You have to be able to control your transverse abdominal muscles. Judges don't want to see you breathing in and out. It's a skill and it's a sport. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna have their opinions and things like that. I think that comes out of jealousy and envy, in my opinion, because people can't do what we do. I mean, and then you always hear the the bad stigmas in bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate when people blame their diet issues on bodybuilding. It's like, no, you have an issue with yourself. It had nothing to do with bodybuilding. You just
Or better
wasn't
yet,
able to
or
control
better
it.
yet, Doug, when they quit bodybuilding and they blame
Yeah.
bodybuilding
Yeah,
for their fucking problems, like
yeah,
physically or mentally.
exactly.
Like,
That's
shut the
exactly
fuck
what
up.
I mean.
No one held a gun to your head and said, you need to compete. Those are your choices.
Facts.
You chose to do the drugs.
Facts.
You chose to do the diet. You
Facts.
chose to do the cardio. Stop fucking blaming bodybuilding for being the person you are right
Facts.
now.
Bodybuilding
Yeah.
didn't make you have a bad relationship with food. You
100%.
have a bad relationship with food.
That's
same
on
thing.
you.
It's the same thing with anyone else. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we don't like guns. Well, the gun didn't pull its fucking trigger. Some asshole did.
Yep.
Well, fast food, it's not because not fast food made you get fat. It's because you couldn't put the fork down. You kept putting it in your mouth.
Hey, don't judge me.
Hey, judgment-free zone here, all right? I do like a good Big Mac from time to time, or 4 or 5 of them.
I came across this girl's post the other day, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to go down that road. But her post was basically bashing bodybuilding after she had retired bodybuilding, and how bodybuilding gave her an eating disorder. She said it was like this video of her eating a brownie or a cupcake after a show, and she was like, "This was the first bites that led to the landslide of whatever."
Dude, I saw that same video and I wrote a fucking paragraph, and then I was like, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
not worth it because they already have their minds made up, and that's the part that sucks, man. I mean, I think that in today's society, people are a lot more honest and more transparent. Like, I tell people, bodybuilding is not a healthy sport. We do it as healthy as we can. First of all, having low body fat's not healthy, natural or unhealthy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's where your body gets its energy source from. So when you have low body fat, your body you just don't have the energy that you should have. So, you're more susceptible to injuries and things like that. But it's like you said, Brendan, nobody's making us do this. Nobody's putting a gun to my head. No, these are my choices. Like I said earlier today, I'm out with my son yesterday and my family. I'm hungry as hell, smelling all of this food. I'm not going to bash bodybuilding and say, oh, man, I can't eat this food because of bodybuilding. It's like, no, if I want to go eat the food, I can go do that shit if I want.
Right. But Doug, you and I both know that you chose the sport. You chose to do Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like, we've all been in situations with all the amount of shows that we've done and preps and everything like that. Mm-hmm. We've sat stone cold face in front of the most best food that we want to eat during prep. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Your job is not to get mad at everyone else. Your job is, like, when people are like, oh, can I eat this in front of you? Eat whatever the fuck you want. Because guess what? It's my choice to be on fucking prep. If you want to stuff your face with McDonald's or fucking a pizza, go ahead, do it. Yeah. Like, people that get mad, you're going to eat that in front of me? Like, you're going to do it in the same room as me?
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah, and I've never been like that with my family or my kids. I don't give a fuck what they eat. I done taken my daughter to McDonald's in prep. I done sat at pizza parlors with them in prep. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I know what this shit tastes like. So I'm not missing anything in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what all that shit tastes like.
It's the same way with my daughter. Like, when I've been on prep, the girl loves friggin' going out to breakfast, eating pancakes, eating bacon, like, loves pizza, like, and she's like skinny as a rail and tall. It's like, if you want to enjoy those foods, I'm going to take you out and you're going to eat those. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'll eat out of my Tupperware. It is what it is. That's my choice. You know what I mean? Yeah. As long as she's happy, that's all I give a shit.
There are a lot of people, though, that don't like that. Like, they're like, oh, I can't smell this right now. Oh, and they just want to be miserable assholes all by themselves. And it's like, okay, cool. Again, you decide to do this. Mm-hmm.
They should take advice from a viral video that I saw. It was like some chick, and she's like, she's got a like cheeseburger in one hand, and she's like smelling it, and then she like takes a bite out of an apple.
Oh, I saw that one.
Blessing's done that. Blessing's done a couple of videos where he sniffs the burger and throws it away.
I've seen that. He'll sniff the burger and eat the lettuce. I've seen that.
It's exactly like that. You gotta be able to have a sense of humor about this shit too. You know what I mean?
I mean, because like you say, at the end of the day, that's why I feel like a lot of people get into the sport for the wrong reasons. You know what else I tell people too? If you get into the sport because you think you're gonna be a rich bodybuilder like C-Bum, you pick the wrong fucking sport.
Amen.
You're not gonna get rich. This is not a sport where you get rich.
Doug, you're completely right, because the last person, like, don't get me wrong, Jay is still irrelevant, but Jay is the last person in that realm. So we're talking 2 people in the last fucking 3 decades have actually made a living off this sport. Well, maybe 3, including Ronnie Coleman. So we're talking
Flex Lewis made a killing as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, like,
fair enough.
It's possible,
we're
but it's like
talking
you
probably
said,
half a dozen guys.
it's a small percentage of people.
Yeah.
And if you're fortunate enough, like myself, like you, Chris, who we love the sport so much, we also do other things. You know, I'm a bodybuilder, I coach, I'm a personal trainer. You know, I have other things that I do. And I want to become a great coach. You know what I'm saying? In all aspects, you know, I don't know if I told you guys, but I got accepted back into my college. I plan on finishing and getting
man.
a bachelor's degree this summer.
Look at you.
Yeah, I plan on it because I want to
Congrats.
coach, man. I love being around young minds. I love being able to inspire people. You know what I'm saying? Bodybuilding isn't the end goal for me. It's another stepping stone. And, you know, some people get into this sport for the wrong reasons. They get into the sport because they think they're going to go undefeated, like Floyd Mayweather in boxing. They think they're going to be freaking the next C-Bum or Sam Sulek. And let's be honest, Sam Sulek got a nice following, but he ain't rich either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to do things in order to create whatever it is that you want. And people, unfortunately, get into the sport for the wrong reasons. And then when they don't get what they want from it, they just bash the sport.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's their own fault for that shit.
And it's your choice at the end of the day. That's what really pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these guys that are making money, like especially now, like they've done like I'll use Nick Walker for an example, because I really respect Nick Walker. Like, he put all of his eggs in the bodybuilding basket, and it's paid off for him. And he's got all these endorsements and contracts, and he's making really good money. You know, and he put all that effort into his training, his diet, that consistency, and his end result was like it opened up a lot of opportunities for him. It's just like anything else. It's a job, and it takes time. You need to create opportunities in this, because let's face it, like, you go on Instagram, you scroll, there's so many guys that are bodybuilders that have great physiques, but you got to create opportunities. And when you have opportunities presented to you, you got to make sure you kick that fucking door in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Facts.
When I was sending out the emails today, I thought of something, and I'll start with Sean. Sean,
Oh boy.
do you remember what the name of the first email address you ever made was?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it's my college one, because I was in college just when the internet was building, so it's just like my first letter and my last name at the college.
Oh, so it wasn't something like crazy.
No, but then after I went to Hotmail, and I was already like late 20s, so I didn't have anything cheeky like, you know, patmycock.com or something.
I was wondering how long he was going to take, Sean.
So no, I didn't have anything goofy. I'll be honest, I was boring, man.
No, okay. Anybody have anybody's first email? Was it wild? Anybody had a crazy one?
All right, don't fucking judge me, but I still have an AOL account. Like,
Hey,
I still use.
Does it still dial up too?
My email is like coachmax2007@AOL.com.
Got mail.
No joke.
I remember AOL. That's crazy.
Mine was pretty funny. Before I had the Coach Mac one, I love like a band. I'm sure some of you know them, Seven Dust. And then I had a crotch rocket. I had a CBR R600, a Honda. And I came up with a friggin' email address, Biker Boy 7 Dust.
Hey.
Oh shit, that was mine.
I loved like techno and like hard style and trance back then. So my first email was djberserk69@excite.com.
Oh, jeez.
I never would have saw that.
Yeah, it was terrible. And I remember when I was in college, like one of the professors was like going over the email address listed, and I forgot that I put that on there, and he's like, who's DJ Berserk 69? I'm like, me. I'm like, put my head down.
Man,
He looks at me and goes, really, Chris, really?
that's funny as hell. Yeah, I mean, I remember mine. You know, it was a long time ago. I used to make music. I used to rap. So my rap name was Bad News, and that was my my first email address. And I didn't even understand emails back then.
Yeah.
I only had one because the producer I worked with said that it was an easy way to send files back and forth. So that was mine.
That's what's up.
So Mike, I'll share one with you because a lot of you guys know maybe I work in human resources for the pharma industry. Okay, and I was hiring for a director, and the email was one hellacious biatch at Yahoo. It's been a 200K job. I'm like, that's your email? Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
I couldn't make that shit up.
When I was a regional for GNC, I would always like train people to like collect the emails and stuff like that at the register. And there was this one guy that came in, and I was training a new employee, and I was like, you gotta make sure you ask for his email. And she was like, oh, so what's your email? And the guy's like, hotmail@hotmail.com. It was HOTMALE at Hotmail. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Yo, Doug, I'm in your spot, bro.
Luke coming in hot from Planet Fitness.
Doug, I'm in your spot.
He's at Planet Fitness.
I actually have to train at
Oh, blackout
tomorrow.
So my first one was.
Where's your email address?
Do you guys remember that band Baha Men? They sang that Who Let the Dogs Out?
Oh, Jesus.
So I was
Baha
I
Boy.
went to middle school, and they were the Bulldogs. So that song got played at like every, baseball game, soccer game, football game, whatever. And I love that song. I got it on cassette. And when my parents let me make my first email, I made it. I think it was Baha Boy 45 at yahoo.com or something like that.
Is that where you're going to post to at the Texas Pro? You can come out to that?
Yes, sir. That's the one. Luke.
That was your high school mascot was a bulldog?
You should fucking do it.
My middle
Do
school.
the
I
Baja song in Texas.
went to a different high school, but yeah,
that was our high school mascot, the Rockland Bulldogs. And they used to play that same fucking song too.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, do the Baja song in Texas.
No way, bro. Luke, let's see, Luke. What was your first email address?
It was an AIM. Remember AIM?
Oh yeah.
It was lax.
Here we
It
are.
was lax. It was lax. The number 4, EVR, 1997.
For lacrosse?
Yeah. Some corny shit, bro.
Not as corny as Baja Boy.
Yes, it's not.
You win.
Baja Boy is embarrassing.
Can you imagine Luke playing lacrosse right now?
Bro,
Fucking
I was a very
290-pound motherfucker running at you.
Yeah,
Hey, bro,
I'd call him Luke the Enforcer. Just steamrolling people.
I was a very different human being when I played lacrosse, bro. Very different human being.
We gotta go back and ask you this question, Luke. What's your most memorable lift you ever remember?
Probably the first time I shoulder pressed 160s or deadlifted 6 plates for 10. Those were both big for me.
Those are awesome.
But that was like a couple years ago. I honestly, if I was, I'm not doing either of those lists right now, but I'm like the strongest I've ever been. Like I just literally just before I got on here, I just did incline dumbbell. I did 160s for 18. So damn, I'm sure I could do that from shoulder press now for like 10, 12. Because I've just been running like Smith machine where I'm doing like, well, Mike, you saw me at Super Gym. Well, I was doing like 3.5, 4 plates on that Smith. And then like the Arsenal press, you guys have used that, I do like 6 plates on there for like 12 to 15. So I'm like,
I like that.
if I ran it up right now, I'd probably beat those numbers. But those are like, as far as memorable, like the first time I did that, it was probably those two.
That's heavy.
Yeah, bro.
Did anybody else ever get super strong, but like you were only not only focusing, but I remember when I got my heaviest at pressing, that was like what I was locked into. When I got heaviest on squatting, it was like I was really locked into squatting.
Yeah.
Did anybody else like increase like that? Because I hit 175 dumbbells on incline with like the heaviest, and I'm not a good presser, and that's the heaviest I'll ever press for like 8 to 10. But now I'm probably 140, 12
Really?
at best. Yeah. Maybe
I'll just like, it'll just.
Really? You're a fucking pussy.
Nah. It'll just come like naturally. I don't even really try to force it. When I was like just starting, I would try to force strength progressions more. But dude, I don't take it anymore because now I feel like it's a frowned upon drug. But when I used to take D-ball, I would take like 30 milligrams of D-ball, and I would just double my presses. Like every week, I'd walk in the gym, and I'd have to like double check the dumbbells in my hands to make sure it was the right weight because I was just like doubling the reps, bro. It was crazy. But like everyone hates D-ball now, so
Well,
I don't
that's
take it
'cause
anymore.
A lot of people abuse a lot of the shit that we do.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, I had a conversation with a young guy about this, and I remember early in my bodybuilding days, Morgan used to tell me to don't tell people what I do because people will try to double doses,
Right.
stuff like that. Because some people just rely more on the drugs than food and training,
Yeah, I know people
and
like that.
that's another reason why bodybuilding gets a bad stigma because it's like you got to let the drugs do the work, but you got to eat the food and you got to train. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
for me, you'll know those people when they'll change drastically when they're either on or off cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So like those are the people that like on cycle they look crazy and they gain a shitload of weight, and then they come off, or they'll go to TRT even, and they'll lose like 15 pounds. Their training will go to shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just relying on the drugs for everything.
Yep.
Like there's no reason if you're on 200 milligrams of test a week, you can't maintain a certain physique or gym performance or whatever if you're everything else is in order. You know what I'm saying? And you're actually training hard. You're not just relying on shit like D-ball to get you through a session. You know what I mean?
That's why some people don't believe whenever they hear certain people's cycles. People are like, no way, there's no way
Yeah.
you're taking way more than that. And it's like some people don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm also a firm believer too, in building a very strong natural base before.
Yep.
Like
Amen.
I built a strong base for 10 years before I even touched anything.
And I
So
did
yeah,
that by
squatting
default.
fucking
You're
700
so
pounds
true.
naturally before I did anything.
Yeah,
That's
true.
so true. So true. I wish. Unfortunately, people just don't have the patience. There's a couple of times, like I always tell people when they first get into bodybuilding, I think that you should compete naturally first before you even want to cross that road. Now, different strokes for different folks, but at the same time, I see a lot of people jump on gear, do bodybuilding shows, not like it, hate it, and it's like you wasted your time, bro.
Yep.
You know?
We've had that conversation before.
Wasted your
100%.
time.
Like you need to hit your. I think I always feel that way too. Like anyone that's ever come to me, and if they come to me and they are natural, I keep them that way for at least 1 to 2 shows to be like, do you really love what you're doing? Do you love the process? Do you love being on the stage? Let's get you to where you want to be as far as we can naturally, and then once you hit that plateau, then you can make a decision. But until then, there's no point in doing it unless you know you love it and you've reached your natural potential, lifting wise, like food wise, like everything. Like it all falls.
Because then you don't have to start off with high doses like most people do.
Literally, you can
You know
throw
what
them
I'm
on like
saying?
250 a week tests and they'll fucking blow up.
But that's
should.
the problem. That's
They
the problem
really
with
should.
today's generation, though. They want it here and now. They don't want to put in the time. They want 6
Like,
months.
yeah, let's do 2.5 grams to start.
Yeah, because
What?
everybody watches the Trend Twins and all these other fucking people out here. And look, and I'm not knocking the Trend Twins. I don't want nobody fucking diving in my comment section. You understand? Over the
You're
Trend
already
Twins.
pissing off enough people.
but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love that we talk about these things too, man, because it's always funny to me when people try to like this one dude a couple years ago when I was doing the my pro debut. He made a video about me being on gear, and he thought he was making fun of me. It was a slight. And I always tell people, it's like, bro, it's not a slight to me because first of all, I'm a grown ass man. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Second of all, if I decide to give my body more of what it needs, that's my choice, and I can do that. I don't talk
Yep.
about y'all motherfuckers that sniff coke, pop pills, and do all other type of shit that y'all do. You understand? Like you're not going. It's not a slight to me, But that person, unfortunately, was trying to appease another lame dude. These dudes was fucking around with me, so when I seen him, I had some words for him. And after that, he knew to leave me the fuck alone. But it's like when you're grown, you can do whatever you want to do. Everybody's got their vice. So, some people play video games and people talk about adults. I heard this girl say, if you're in your 30s and you play video games, that's weird. And I'm like, why is that weird? Like,
Fuck it, give me a
like,
Nintendo. I'm all
yeah,
in.
if you're into video
Yeah.
games, there's no age limit to that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why do people care about what other people do? I don't give a fuck about what nobody do.
I
Hey,
don't know.
Luke,
Sorry.
set up that camera. Let's get a set.
Yeah, I got 5 plates on this motherfucker right now.
All right, let's
Hold
run
on.
it.
Hold on. Wait, I'll have my
We're
girl
gonna
hold
do
it.
a live fucking set on the pod.
You got to wait 1 minute.
Which
Wait, how
is
do I
worse,
flip this?
people that scroll on their phones or the guys that talk on podcasts during sets?
Yeah, I know. I'm not proud of this one, bro, but I couldn't miss another, bro. Wait, how do I flip the camera on this motherfucker? Ava, hold this.
Get tech support going.
Man, that music is slamming right now there.
Oh, here we go.
Ava, it's my
Hey,
dog.
Doug said, Ava.
What up?
Wait, can you see? Can you see that? All right, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, we can see
All right,
it.
this.
You can't even fit in that fucking thing.
Coming to you live.
All you, bro. Let's go, bro.
He's got no
You can't even
all
fit
the
in it.
pressure in the world on him right now.
Fake weight. That's fake weight.
Yeah.
He's got a waving shot under the shirt.
We don't hear any banging. We don't hear any banging.
Strong as fuck, bruh.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Hard to
got to
believe it's
post
his warm-up,
as soon as he
too.
gets back on. All his form is shit and the weight is fake.
And not one rep was done. Great dismount, 10 for 10.
I'm saying it.
That's crazy.
Well,
That's crazy. You're the reason why people think we use fake weights. This is why people think we lift
That's
with
fucking fake weight, Luke.
You make that shit look
That ain't
easy.
real.
Like, what the fuck?
You fucking pussy.
You know what's cool is you training with her. You don't got to take off a lot of plates. Like I always tell people that. Like when I can train with a female and I don't got to take off all the fucking weight, that shit is dope.
You should ask her.
yeah, Ava's strong. I've actually trained with Ava many years ago at Powerhouse in Connecticut.
Bro, I couldn't believe.
She is stupid strong.
I couldn't believe
No, she
when I
was like
first
5
met her
weeks
that
from
she had.
I know. It's insane. She forgets to struggle every time, too.
Oh.
You know what I wanted to talk about too?
Yeah.
Because I hate when people act like they're natural when they run TRT. Like TRT isn't fucking.
Or they're taking peptides or SARMs or
that
something like that.
and I know dudes that run growth and say they're natty. It's like, no, you're not, bro. Like you're not. Like, why can't people just admit that they're running shit? Like, why do you?
Oh, I hate that, bro.
I just want to act like that guy from that Family Guy episode. He's like, "You're not natural. You're a phony. Hey, look at this guy. Look at the big fat phony. He's a phony."
Like, bro, like I know dudes that literally lie about this shit, and it's like, to me, that makes you corny.
Yeah.
Like you're that corny.
Bro, there's a lot of liars, dude. Even like, I don't even talk about like SEO stuff too, bro. Like no one wants to talk about that. Even the other day, like Justin Compton is someone like I've heard a lot of good things about. I don't know if y'all saw Thackeray called him out for lying about the doses
Oh yeah.
he was taking. Did you guys see that?
No, I ain't do that.
Yeah.
He was on some podcast talking about how like fat, like he only ran like 500-600 milligrams of test, a few hundred milligrams of this until he got with Thackeray, and Thackeray took his doses up when it was literally the opposite. And Thackeray came out with the emails, he posted them. And basically, when Justin came to him, Justin was already on like 1250 tests, 1,000 milligrams of this, something else, and Thackeray pulled him down. But Justin tried to say it was the other way around. So like, and that's Justin Compton, who's got like a good reputation and people have good things to say about the guy. And I think he's genuinely a good dude. Maybe it was a slip up, but like, even motherfuckers like that lie, bro.
Yeah, I
It's all
don't
over the
like.
place.
I don't like that about bodybuilding. People like, I'm natural. I just take TRT. It's like,
Dude,
I can't take you serious now.
you know what it is, bro? It's like a competition for these people to see like who can, like, bro, you got to do what you got to do in bodybuilding. If you got to take high doses, you got to take high doses. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. But it's like a bragging point of like, people are like, oh, I'm only on 500 tests and I look like this. It's like, okay, but if I take 1,000 and I beat you, I don't fucking care what you took. You know what I'm saying? So you do what you got to do. You take what you're comfortable taking and you live by like those choices. You know what I'm saying? But people like, they use it as like a, like they're trying to, like they got some edge on you or something if they take less.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know.
Yeah,
Everyone's body responds differently, so I don't even understand why you gotta fucking lie about it.
Yeah.
that's my point. You know, I
Like
never
this-
lie about it. I'm always careful. I don't never put out my doses and stuff like that because I feel like we have obligations to the younger people. I don't want nobody doing some shit, getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, a lot of people do that. But at the same time, I've never lied about it. I'm a grown ass man. I always tell people that I can do what the fuck I want to do. If I want to shoot dope, I can shoot dope. As long as I take care of my family and I take care of my bills and shit, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I'll say this. I mean, I'll talk like slight bit about doses, but like I've been doing this shit for like 7 years now. This was the first off season I just finished like 2 weeks ago. And I didn't even do it the whole time. I built to it over the course of like 18 weeks. It's the first time I touched a gram of test. And that's built up over 7 years of using stuff. Right? So like it just got to a point where like if I gotta step into the 280s, 290s, 300 pounds to be like a real super heavyweight competitor at the national level, that's just what the next step was for me. But I was 500. I milked that out. I was 600, 700.
Yeah.
Right. And then
You
the
took
last
your
like
time. Exactly.
yeah.
That
And
was
even
a deal
during this cycle, it was titrated up over, like I said, the course of 18 weeks. I didn't start out the gates on a gram of test.
No,
I started at like 500-600.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those hormonal swings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Maybe you can stay on longer.
Maybe you got up to 800 and you wouldn't need to go to a gram. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
And the thing is too is like Luke's damn near 300 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, like if someone who's like 195 pounds or whatever, that's like,
Exactly.
I want to take a gram of test. It's like, why?
Exactly.
You're not
That's
going to. You can
true.
only build so much muscle in a given day, a given week, and when you start taking those doses that are much higher, all you're going to do is fuck yourself in the future because you're going to need to run similar doses.
Or more. Yeah.
Yes, that's like when if that's like somebody who doesn't drink alcohol on their 21st birthday tries to take 21 shots. Like, why the fuck would you do that? That is completely stupid. But
There is also truth to, like Chris said, just about like body mass. Like you'll notice a lot of the shorter bodybuilders, like in the history of the sport too, smaller framed guys, usually took a little less. Like the bigger, taller bodybuilders, the freaks, even guys like Sergio Oliva, I've heard him outwardly speak about how the cycle for him is 2 grams of test. You know what I mean? He's like 6 foot, 6'1". And then you'll get guys like I don't know, the guy Sicilinos or a lot of the 212 guys, they're not going much over 700 milligrams ever really, because they just don't need to. You do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way like a bigger body's going to need more food. Probably going to need more drugs too. You know what I mean? There's just more muscle that needs to be built. There's more body mass.
Well, it's like Martin actually did a video a couple of weeks ago, and like he was asked at the Arnold what his like dosages were, and he's like,
I think I saw that.
He's like 600 tests, 600 EQ, and 6 IUs a GH a day. And look at how he's growing. You know, he's shorter than, you know, he's on the shorter side.
And he's a smart ass motherfucker. When I tell you he's like a John Jewett. Like
he's smart.
He knows everything about everything.
That's what you need, though. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be, I feel like you need to be educated in the drug realm, especially if you're taking them. You need to know what you're taking them. You need to know what the side effects are. And you need to know where your, like, dosage should be, where you're going to peak. Like we were just talking about, some people grow off 500 a week. Some people grow off a gram a week, like, or in between. Like, I've learned personally that like nothing higher than 750 is like that works perfectly for me. If I go over that, I feel it's useless. In my personal opinion, that's for me. I'm not saying that works for everyone else.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
And you're also a taller, bigger guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Load up the fake plates again.
Yeah, bro. I just did that. You just like couldn't hear me breathe, bro.
He doesn't know what a back off set is. He only does top sets, no back off sets.
Yeah, no back off. Strictly top sets.
Yeah, I wish that people would stop caring about what people think. And if you're running TRT, stop saying you're natty, because you're not natty, dude. Like, you're not fucking natty.
I don't find a reason to advertise your dosage, but if you like talking to another bodybuilder or like somebody that you can trust or something like that, then I get it. Like, it's completely fine to like share that shit. But like going on social media and being like, these are what my doses are. Like, this is what like seeing these fucking clown influencers that are like, oh, look at these dosages right here. He's running fucking 2.5
Man, do you see the
grams.
guys? Do you see the guys that do it on camera and post the shit?
Oh, bro, I seen motherfuckers shooting airplanes.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, those
the
people that do that are ridiculous.
Bro, I don't know what to talk. Man, I'll tell you something. But like, the fact that they could do that and not get in legal trouble is crazy, bro.
You know what's crazy too? Like there'll be these guys that are like posting like holding their vials of Tren and their fucking whatever, and then they're like, oh, how come no companies want to like sponsor me? And it's like,
you're a fucking idiot.
Like a fucking asshole.
Amen, brother.
And like companies will look at all your shit. You know, I used to handle sponsorships with iForce Nutrition. Yeah. And I would literally go back. I'd be scrolling back on people's profiles, and I'm like, okay, I want to make sure they're going to fit the brand well.
Yeah, I'm all for it, to each his own. However you want to live your life is fine, but certain things I just feel like it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
Agreed.
Sure.
Yeah, I gotta say something too. Doug mentioned TRT, and that's hilarious. Bro, people nowadays, it's like a trend for these young kids. Like TRT is testosterone replacement therapy, right? It's very literally like replacing natural test levels with exogenous use. These kids now, they'll take 200-300 milligrams, which is just a small test cycle for them, and call it TRT. And it drives me insane. I'm like, you're just being stupid because you're probably crashing your natural levels, but you probably don't need 200 milligrams. You're probably not getting huge off of it. And now,
you know it as well as I do, but those motherfuckers, they're 22, 23 years old, and you're running 300 grams. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, if you have, I do know some 20-year-old kids that do naturally have low testosterone, 200, 150 milligrams per deciliter, whatever. They need TRT. But like, if you're a fucking normal 21-year-old and you're just like a little too scared to, or you want to still call yourself natty, running 200 to 300 milligrams of test ain't natty. You're just running a
here's the problem too: is those same guys have test levels of over 1,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
bro.
The moment you take
your natural test levels over 1,000 and you're taking TRT, get the fuck out.
Yeah, and the moment you take, like Luke was saying, like the whole point of testosterone replacement therapy is to keep your testosterone levels within that normal physiological range. If you're taking 200 or 300 milligrams of TRT and your levels are already at the 800s, they're probably going to put your levels 1,200 plus. At that point, it's not TRT. You're in super physiological ranges. Like you are enhanced.
Yep.
But forget the 20-year-olds. You have more of the fucking teens nowadays. 16, 17-year-olds doing this shit, which is even worse.
I don't know if I told you this story on here on one of the past podcasts, but I saw a kid in my gym, 17 years old, bench press 455. And I was like, oh shit, dude, that's awesome. He goes, yeah, man, I'm running, it was like 750 tests, 300 tren, and 50 milligrams of Anadrol a day. And I just looked at him and go, you're a fucking idiot.
Man, by the time he gets 25, he better still be running shit. He better still be running shit, because, whoa.
God forbid in a couple of years, he ends up with a couple of friggin' kitties, you know?
Yeah.
Squirting prolactin across the room over here.
Yeah, man. That shit is crazy, man. I love that we talk about this stuff, man, because a lot of people need to hear this information. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I remember when I heard Ronnie say, "It's like you, Chris. I fell into this. I did everything by default the right way. I was training for 7 years before I ever ran a cycle, and I was 35. You know what I mean? So before and I remember my first coach. The first thing he said was he didn't even believe I wasn't running anything. I was 215 natural. He couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Then he was like, "You wouldn't even need that much." So I'm glad that I found the people that I found. You know what I'm saying? Because had I found somebody that didn't know what the fuck they was doing, could have fucked me up.
Yep. For sure.
I wish I could say the same, but I was a skinny ass bitch in the OCB that did men's physique.
But you were much older too.
Ah, shit. Mike see me in those days.
Hey, I was in the OCB too at one point, so
me too.
We all start somewhere.
Yeah,
that was me minus 90 pounds ago.
Do you remember that other organization? It was in Rhode Island. It's been gone for a while, but it was called like the BLNPA. It was like the body language. This guy named Kevin Topka was the one who was like the owner of the thing. But I competed in that one before too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I know they just stripped the WNBF out of New England, and they're trying like this new organization, PCA. Not PCA.
Now I see the PCA.
Not
now,
PCA,
what is the PCA?
It's not
PCA. PCA is definitely enhanced people.
No, not the PCA is more like the Europe one.
That's based out of UK, but they have a branch up in New England now.
Right, but a dude named Ryan Sullivan, he's a pretty good coach. He coaches like that SUP team.
It was like Unis.
I think it's like ANBF.
It was like it's INBF, ANBF.
INBF was attached.
WNBF or whatever.
INBF was attached to WNBF. This is ANBF. It's like I don't remember what it stands for, but it's pretty much they want to try to take over the Northeast. Macro shows, so I don't know. I mean, they're gonna give it a try though.
Yeah. Do any of you know what the PCA is?
I know they don't. I know they're throwing it, but I don't know what the fuck it is.
They do a lot of special needs stuff. They do a lot of special, like if you look at their Instagrams, a lot of special needs type shows, which you got to applaud. But it also looks like entrance of people that are on stuff that are just entering into the bodybuilding.
Oh no, the PCA is definitely not a natural organization because I know a bunch of guys that are enhanced that compete in it.
Yeah, correct.
It's supposed to kind of rival the NPC. I know, from what I've heard. I know like the NPC is not really a big fan of them, which is why like I've had people ask like, "Oh, you should do the PCA," and I'm like, "No." I have a friend who's a PCA pro actually. His name is Nick.
Yeah, DPA, yeah.
Yeah, DPA, yeah, you know.
That's my boy. Yeah, he's a PCA pro.
It's very big over in Europe.
Yes.
When I lost the New York State show in 2022, when I got kind of like robbed for the overall, I had like 10 different dudes reaching out to me saying, "Come over to the PCA, fuck the NPC." So it's very like, from what I understand, pretty similar. They just don't have as many competitors. competitors.
Yeah. Do you guys know Nick Navis from Rhode Island?
Yeah, no, I've trained with him a few times.
He used to do the Rhode Island Muscle, and I think
Me
now
and you did that show together. You did
bodybuilding.
Mike, you did bodybuilding, and I did men's physique.
Yep.
Yeah, Nick does the PCA shows now. I think he promotes a lot of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's him and I think it's him and Mike Shula.
Oh yes, yeah. Do you guys? Here's another question. Do you guys remember any amateur physiques that really stuck out in your head at national shows or just shows in general? The guys who maybe never went pro and they just kind of like disappeared off the circuit. I don't mean like from the 90s or 2000s. I mean like in your career.
Nate Quinn.
Unreal. He got really sick, and he had I think he had like pancreatic cancer or some tumors, and I've been friends with him for a long time, and at every show he's ever done, he like destroyed and won the overall, and every time he would get ready to go for a national level show, he'd get sick or something would happen. But he's one physique that. And then Ryan Bergeron, who also is from New England, who he doesn't compete anymore, but he used to compete. It was really good. There was a show that he won the light heavyweight class, and he beat Justin Randall in the overall. Robbie Gould, who's now a pro as well. Nate Spear, Derek Oslin was in that show as well. Yeah,
that happens a lot. Like man. I don't know the one dude's name. What's that dude from Chicago? I think his name was like Raging Silverback.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Chris something. Big black Chris.
Yeah. I thought he was a fucking pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he was a fucking pro, but for whatever reason, I don't know what happens. You know, that's why I don't take this shit for granted, man. I think that some people just look at it and just think like shit just magically happens, man. But in my 10 years, I've seen bodybuilders come and go. You know, all kind of things happen. Yep. You know what I'm saying? This is not an easy fucking thing to do and turn pro.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of people like go pro and then just end up falling off the face of the earth because they're just like, listen, I knew like I accomplished a goal that I wanted to, and now I know I really don't have a shot at going to Tokyo or going to the Olympias. So fuck this, I'm done.
Do you guys remember Mike Cleaves? He won North Americans in 2019. He was going to be like a 212er.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah,
familiar.
He was like Mike the Real Steel Cleaves on his
yeah. Damn, I forgot about him.
He was. I just remember his physique. The 2 years leading up.
That was the year before I turned pro. I remember that.
He was good, real good, and then he just kind of disappeared after he turned pro. So it happens to a lot of them.
Mike,
remember that guy, Trey Brewer?
Yeah,
everyone talks about him. Yeah.
Trey Brewer, I think he's like a firefighter now.
Mike, I'll date myself, man, but let's look at Dennis Newman. I know he went pro, but what would his career be like if he didn't have leukemia where he did?
Oh, Dennis Newman, I forgot about him actually, but he had an awesome physique.
Yeah.
For sure. No, there's a lot of them like that.
Yeah, I think about that Vincenzo Massoni kid too. I mean, he turned pro eventually, but when he was younger, he was an animal.
I remember the first time I saw him at Cutler. Like this must have been like 2017, 16, 17, and I had never seen a human that big at that point in my body.
Are you talking about
He's
talking about my boy? He's with Action Sled.
Vincenzo.
Yeah.
Oh, Vincenzo. Oh, yeah. He's a monster.
He just hasn't competed because he's got the.
He had a family or something too.
Yeah, started a family.
Yeah, but I know it took him.
I know it took him doing something soon.
I know it took him a long time to turn pro because he was like, when he was like 21, 22, people were like, bro, like he's already there.
You know,
it took him like 6 years. He couldn't get in shape really. And
he played football.
Yeah.
He played football. He said he played running back in college. I'm like, you were a fucking running back? Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I ain't stepping up no gap for him better, bro. No way.
What about Dave Palumbo?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Palumbo for sure. He's like the ultimate amateur.
Phil is too, man.
He was just a freak show. Like, it's just ridiculous. Okay, you remind me of like Boa Bobo from Double Dragon.
My last question of the night, and you can choose to opt out of this question if you want, but I thought it was a good one. And if you want to opt out because of your females, that's fine. But if you could pick one celebrity hall pass, who you picking?
Oh, celebrity hall pass.
You guys are going to be surprised by mine.
Okay.
What is it going to be, Prince?
Pat my cock.
Yeah,
He'll do it for you.
Shit.
Halle Berry in her prime.
Hey, I ain't mad at
Can't
that at
beat
all.
that.
That's a good choice.
Dude,
Bro,
like, who was the movie? What's the fucking movie when she was in it with John Travolta?
Swordfish, which was
That's it.
topless.
Oh,
That's it.
right,
That's
great
it.
movie.
Oh, her in Swordfish. Holy fucking shit.
Dude, when she's
I
reading the
can't even
paper. I
think.
remember the
It
scene, she's reading the paper,
trumps-
she drops the paper
Bro.
down.
Sean, it trumps like fucking Megan Fox. Like, forget that.
I was gonna say Megan Fox.
Halle Berry in Swordfish. I was like, this is it. This is my life right there. All pass all day right there. Take me.
Damn, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
Mike, I like natural, bro. I say Charlize Theron.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I like that. That's a good choice.
I want to hear. I can't. I fucking want to hear Luke say it.
I'm very literally right next to my girl right now. So.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Hey, Luke, so ask her what hers is, and then you can follow up. Ask her first.
I'm not even trying.
You ain't putting that shit. You ain't putting that shit, bro.
Damn, I can't think. Like,
Mike, what's yours?
So currently, oh man, it's tough. But I
looks
think
like he's
right
about to get first.
now, I'm saying Gal Gadot from Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
In her Wonder Woman outfit for you, though.
Either or.
Does she have to wear the outfit?
Nah. She don't have to wear nothing.
All right, Doug and Chris, you're up.
oh my goodness, man. You know what? And I'm gonna say this, and I have to explain to you why.
Is your wife in the other room?
No. I have taken a real liking to the rapper Glorilla.
Oh
I thought
yeah.
that she was not pretty, and she started working out, and I think she is gorgeous.
She is. She's.
I think, and then to me, I always tell women this too. I know some ugly girls that work out, and because they work out and their body looks good, to me they're appealing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to say Glorilla.
Hey.
All right, I see you, Doug. Don't know who she is. All right.
Chris is up.
All right, I don't actually have any celebrity crush, and that's like I'm being dead honest with that. But I will say that when I was in 6th grade, my first 2 celebrity crushes were
Punky Brewster.
Lisa Lefty Lopez and Lil Kim.
Ooh.
And then for the
Lil
longest,
Kim before she started getting surgery.
yeah, and then for the longest time, have you guys seen that movie The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
There's that French girl in there. Her name is Virginia Ledoyen. That was who I had like a crush on all through high school. But you want to know who I fucking love? And I've actually told Ashlyn this, my fiance this, and you guys are gonna look at me weird, but this is my old lady crush. This Meryl Streep.
Oh, Meryl Streep's hot.
Dude, and the Devil Wears Prada, that look she gives, I'm just like, please, just hit me with those daggers. I'll clean the house. I don't care. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Meryl Streep's awesome.
I'm waiting on Luke. Man up, dog.
Shit, bro. It'll be a doghouse.
Just mention a movie or something, bro. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, just say the movie.
Yeah, see? Fuck that shit. Just run away.
It's just not happening.
Tell her you gotta go take a shit or something. Just run away and then just
Oh, shit.
That's fucking cool.
Problem is, this goes on YouTube, dog. So
That's
don't
that
go away.
shit. I'm not editing that. I don't edit shit.
It don't go away.
Somebody records it and then DMs her.
Yeah, every time something goes wrong, she don't pull up the clip, bro.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm passing.
All right.
That I'm passing.
fair enough.
Respect.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Shit, that's really. I ain't got nothing else.
I got a training question for you guys because you guys are the athletes and the competitors. When you guys are dieting down, obviously everyone's got a muscle or a body part that seems to not atrophy but shrink a little bit quicker than the others. Okay, do you guys train that twice a week or like take the intensity even higher to keep the mass, or just let it go?
No, like I know, like for me, and a lot of people are like this too. Like when they're dieting, usually like their pressing strength will go to shit. Like my legs will usually get stronger through prep, and so does my back. But like my pressing power, especially on chest, just seems to go. I just train it how I normally would train it. If when the weight starts to go down, I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm still, gonna still train it hard with intensity. But I mean, like I'm not gonna be at peak strength that I was in off season when I'm, in single digit body fat like weeks out.
Yeah, for me, it's my chest. It's my chest that it happens to. It'll flatten out, but the thing is like just lift like what you normally can, and it's like Chris said, like if the weight goes down, it goes down, but you still train and lift with that same intensity. Adding anything, like especially when you're like 8 weeks out, you're not like the chances you've grown are very, very, very slim.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like what you're doing is you're trying to maintain as much muscle as possible on that frame.
And managing your fatigue.
Yeah, I
was gonna say that.
Honestly, if you're struggling with like maintaining strength and performance in the gym, if anything, I'm scaling back volume. But that's like for clients of mine and stuff. Like I'm not gonna add intensifiers or volume to my chest if I'm feeling my strength dip off or like my performance is going to shit.
You should be stripping intensifiers probably like at 12 weeks out.
Yeah, I usually pull back. I usually pull back volume and rest more to try to keep strength higher.
I do the same thing, Luke. Yeah.
But for me, it's always my legs, just because they're my weakest body part.
Yeah.
And I have to dig. Like, what sucks is of my legs, my glutes are my weakest, my body muscles. So I have to dig in the past at least to really get them in, which means high cardio and low carbs. So there's no real way around it. My legs just flatten out a lot to get my glutes in. I just have to find the balance of like how important it is, because my glutes will get stripped, but at what cost? You know what I mean? I got to figure out like, is it worth it to lose all the pop to my quads to have steel glutes, or should I play around and like maybe add more high days in or stay off my feet a little more during prep to kind of save my legs? I kind of got to figure that out still.
Yep.
But this year, the exciting thing is like I said before, I've been on, fucking between 700 and 7,500 calories a day since September. So, and I start prep at the end of May, and I'm not too fat right now. So, like, I got a good amount of room to play with as far as calories go. So, I should be able to keep my legs a little fuller. Obviously, I've also built more muscle there this offseason. So, I should be able to keep my legs a little fuller. I think that's the biggest thing for me is just managing like when to push and pull with food and when to push and pull with cardio to save my legs, not necessarily like training stuff. But
cool.
Each of their own. That's my opinion.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, on that note, I gotta get a meal in.
I gotta eat my last meal and get to bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm officially in the Pittsburgh. I did all this. I did everything today. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Dougie.
Yo,
so it's official.
Right. That's what's up.
Doug, so what are we at? 3 weeks? What's the countdown, Doug?
Well, yeah, it was 4 weeks yesterday, so
okay.
under 4 weeks.
I ain't y'all coming. I'll be there.
There's a chance I actually might be there. I have not.
That's what's up.
Not 100%.
I might come.
That's dope, man. I mean, I'm just excited. I'm scared. I'm nervous. All of that shit. But at the end of the day, I plan on doing it in New York right after that. So,
yo, you got. The good thing is you got absolutely nothing to lose. You only got
yeah.
As long as you can make better than the last show, brother, and you happy where you are, that's all that matters.
Yeah. The end goal is the Masters Olympia in Tokyo, for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let's go have fun, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah.
I'm not be in Pittsburgh, but 100% be in New York. So,
yeah. Yes, sir.
If you do New York, I'll
all right,
be there
gents.
for sure.
All right, fellas.
All right.
Have a good week.
Yep, you guys too.
See you.
Have a good one.